just call and catch a play. I might just come see you today. You wait, I'm stuck up in my ways, but love it when I'm playing games. That's the only way we get away. We stuck together, you must forever. That's why I cannot go away. I leave you screaming anything. You find a way to keep me in. Make me think it through some magic and yeah, like you did it. Yeah. Don't be tripping, I'll be there in a minute. You get it, baby, and I'll be there. Be there.
What is up, YouTube? It's RRNIA back with another video. Today is an exciting day because we are heading to Green APU to go ahead and get my APU put onto the truck. Finally, I've been waiting. I did some research and I decided to go with Green APU just solely because of the reviews. You guys went crazy in the comments saying to go with Green APU as well. And I had already started researching an APU and was most likely going to end up going with them. But just seeing all the great reviews, the fact that they're made in the United States, yeah, it's just a great product and I'm super excited to get it put onto this truck, you guys. I've only had this truck for a few weeks now. Haven't been on the road with it quite yet, but before we get on the road, I want to make sure to get an APU because, as you guys know, APUs are very important in just the longevity of the truck's engine and engine hours, etc., etc. And you guys know I really enjoy having a lot of things going on in my truck, like LED lighting, fridges, multiple fridges, TV, microwaves, Blackstone, all of that stuff. I like to cook. I like to live life in the truck. So yeah, you guys, I'm super excited to go ahead and see how these APUs are made and see the APU on my truck when they are finished. So let's go ahead and go inside. This is the entry. Look how nice and modern. Some offices over there. This is the model right here. Look at this TV, you guys. What the hell? Look how big. This is their racing. They have cars that they do racing with, which we'll see later on in the video. Nice little seating area. A beautiful kitchen. It's so modern in here. The aesthetics are so nice of it. Even the doors. These are all offices in here. This is their office room, conference room. I always wanted to be in rooms like this and just sit at the table, at the head of a table like this. So you guys, this is so nice.
One more time, so that's gonna be on. It's kind of cool. Espresso?
Yes. Look at the bathroom. Are you kidding me? Look at how fancy it is. This is so nice. Who has a bathroom like this? Even the vanity lights up. Oh my God. They even have a special, what the hell? Yo, this is so nice. But okay, let's get into the tour and see how these APUs are made.
Hi, so I'm Eric Davis. I'm the Director of Customer Service here at Green APU. To show you what we're going to be doing with the APU, kind of get a game plan so you're aware of where everything's going to go and how we're going to route to your truck and how it's going to work. So our unit itself is right back over here. And this will fit perfectly. You got plenty of space, so this will make it somewhat easy for us. But we're gonna fit the unit right here on the truck. And we'll be bringing all of our hoses and everything back from behind the frame. Try to make it look as clean and factory as possible. So in many trucks, we find that we have to move a tank down a little bit.
Right.
But this one,
Perfect
space. We can almost fit two. Yeah, this shows off a lot of the heart of the unit. One of our big advantages is we have the single serpentine belt system. So that's something that seems kind of similar or simple. It's similar to all the cars on the road, but we're the only APU manufacturer that has that. So this is all self-adjusting. You never have to adjust your belts, and it's completely eliminated belt failures for us. We use a Kubota engine, so those have been great. We've been with Kubota for about 7 years, and anytime we mention Kubota to a customer, they have a tractor or something like that, they have nothing but great things to say for them. So definitely a selling point. The parts that we utilize for our unit, we specifically source non-proprietary parts. So you don't have to keep coming back to Green APU for the life of the unit to get it worked on or to service it yourself. We choose parts that are high quality and then widely used in the automotive applications. So something like our compressor, it's just a simple belt-driven sand-in compressor, but it's used on Ford trucks and even some Freightliner trucks. Our spring tensioner here, we've chosen that because it's a very simple, straightforward Nissan Pathfinder part. You can get it cheaply at any auto parts store, but it's very high quality. The condenser isn't here on this unit, but that's a Honda Civic part. So we kind of take that approach as much as we can to allow our customers to be able to work on the units themselves, and then also keep the cost of ownership down. The cost of ownership is the big thing. Keep everything simple, easy to work on. That's
the fuse.
That's our
right
fuse
there.
box. Yes. So like I was saying before, we have 24-hour tech support, and you may have something that stops working, you know, maybe your compressor isn't kicking on anymore or whatever, and we can have you come out and check these fuses and relays, maybe swap one for another to test it, and get you going on the road without having to have that downtime of going into a shop. So you can sit there all day and say, well, you had a fuse blown. You know? So very
That's
simple.
so awesome. Because a lot of times it is simple stuff.
Yes, very much so.
Most of the time.
Yep.
And especially with something like this where it's easier to fix, you guys.
And we put it all right here in front of you. We're not hiding fuses back in here. Very, like I say, very automotive. So you don't need a bunk heater. If you're using others, a lot of times they need a separate bunk heater to provide the heat.
Right.
Those may or may not work. They're kind of pretty hot when they do. It gets hotter than you need it to be in the truck. So.
And I've heard that this APU gets the coldest that people have had an APU. Yeah. So why is that?
Because it's 26,000 BTUs. Maybe overkill, but we went with a very powerful AC and heat system.
Which obviously we want, especially in the dead heat.
Yeah, when you're in a truck, you're basically in a tin can in the sun, probably painted black, you know, and you're in New Mexico or Laredo, Texas, or wherever. So these units really see the most extreme environments that any piece of equipment like this can be, you know, subjected to. When they're not being used, they're on the road bouncing up and down for 1 million miles. And then when they're being used, they're hot, you know, basically an engine inside of a relatively closed-in box. So everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, it will fail. And we've learned those lessons over the years. So I always say this unit's very mature at this point. Our 5th generation unit, and we've been building it for 15 years. So at this point, it's a culmination of so many lessons learned.
It's so cute.
This is a Polish company. Our company's Polish. Yeah, they had this was the car that, like, back in the 90s or 80s, all the cars in Poland would use this brand. You had 2 options. You had this car and some other one. This is our parts department, though.
Okay.
And anytime you go on our online store, or if you were to come in person, this section takes care of all of our parts needs.
Gotcha.
They have all of the parts from every generation of our unit from the very first. So at the very beginning, we were using some Caterpillar, Perkins engines. Any parts you need for that, we still have in stock here. But for the last 7 years, we've been just strictly the Kubota.
You usually have parts in stock, or you order?
We always have parts in stock.
Okay.
We keep 1 year's worth of parts in stock for our production, and that also goes for replacement parts. So you'll never hear this is on nationwide back order, or we're waiting on something. No, we definitely plan ahead, and you'll see a lot more of that as we get forward. So when you saw our fuse box,
Yes.
that is part of its own harness, which is right here. This harness has already been tested and put into this transfer location, but these are all built in-house.
Wow.
We don't outsource any of these. The machine is what's making a lot of the initial cuts for the wiring. It's going to test these as it's going through, so quality control is built in. As these wires come through, there's small cameras that detect any kind of imperfection in the wire, and then those will be kicked out. And so that we avoid that kind of issue before it becomes an issue, 2 years from now on your wiring harness.
All the way down. Oh my, what the hell?
So it's going to make 10 of these. It's going to bundle them up with a little piece of tape and then set them off to the side. So then it'll go to its next step in the process.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
That's its last of 10, and then it
Look at them.
drops that down. All of those wires, here's an example of some of those wires that have come out of those machines.
Wow.
More, even with little short ones and stuff. And then they're going to culminate in a wiring harness. We have 2 versions, one that's inside the unit and then one that goes outside the unit. So they'll come over here to a test station, and every single one, not spot checks, but every single one gets tested, make sure that the continuity and all the connections are right, the output is correct.
And it'll literally come up on screen?
It'll come up on screen, either good or bad.
So this is it plugged in. So this is where all of the wiring's coming from. They're like spindled.
Yup. Make sure that there's no kinks, because anything that's a kink is going to lead to a failure. They'll have to be really routed perfectly, come out of the spool perfectly, so there's no damage. Ones are all finished, and most of these I believe will be installed either in our shop here or they'll be shipped out. So
nice.
Those bigger boxes over there are prepared for shipment out to one of our various distributors.
Nice.
And then these ones are either ready to be boxed up or be sent over to our shop here.
So you do ship?
Oh yeah, we do ship.
Okay.
So we have distributors all over the country, over 30 distributors, and we're shipping out units constantly.
Look at all these units done.
This is our main inventory. So this is where we keep usually 1 year of inventory for everything that we produce. We kind of our mindset is if we had to weld close our incoming door, we want to be able to still produce units for 1 year. And that really proved to be a lifesaver when COVID hit.
Oh, I bet.
We had no problems producing units.
Right.
And all of our competitors, they couldn't produce units, they couldn't supply replacement parts, so we were taking off other units constantly.
Because they're not made in the United States.
Exactly. Even our circuit boards, our controller boards, we make those in the United States. So
that's
electronics
crazy.
Like that, it's kind of unheard of. There are some of the things that go together with the unit. So when you're connecting an APU to the truck, you're connecting into your coolant system. those things are flowing together. So our technicians get all of those hoses and all the wiring they need, any kind of clamps, everything they need, whether it's here in our shop or in one of our satellite distributors. They get everything they need to do the proper installation with the proper parts. If you're installing on a Volvo versus installing on a Freightliner, there's going to be some variations. For example, a Volvo's going to use these, where a Freightliner's going to use these, and little things like that. Most of the time we include them all in the kits that go out to our distributors. That way, no matter what's thrown at them, they have the fittings.
And all of this is still just
still our stock for, and this isn't all of it. And now you get to see the actual production. The production assembly line. I like to open the doors and show everything. I think the more we show, it kind of speaks better for the product. So units are being prepared for shipment to distributors. So they're going to stack up. This box here has all of those components that were on that big white board.
They're building all of these ones still.
So these engines have basically all been modified to our Green APU platform. So all of our pulleys have been changed. We've changed bracketry for our alternator, because that's no longer going to pivot. It's going to be firm fixed mount. And then we actually put some custom bracketry in here. One of the things, as much as we like the Kubota engines, one of the things that the Kubota engines have an issue with are these two bolts right here. The alternator kind of wants to pull like this. It's just the leverage. And so not just us, but Kubota, these engines, they break these bolts. One, we put stronger bolts in, but we put a insert in here that takes all that leverage away from that alternator. So we build that in-house. It's basically a spacer that gives 3 additional mounting points and takes all of that force off of there. We do some things for the coolant system as well, add some more sensors and stuff. So now basically this unit is going to be ready to put on our assembly line. This is the
racing.
So this is the race team getting ready for this week's race in Missouri. Cars will be competing this week. So this is the American Rally Association. Those are nitro cross cars. They compete small little tracks and do a lot of jumps and figure eights and things like that. These ones, that's more out in the woods, very high speeds, and again, jumping through the woods.
So those are the ones going?
Yeah, these two here, these ones are the ones.
So cool.
You want to get a shot of you sitting there? This thing will go well over 150 miles an hour through the woods.
Through the woods?
Mm-hmm. Trees on both sides. Factory built Hyundai WRC race cars.
Okay.
So here's the engine. They're smaller engines, like 4-cylinder engines, but they have turbo, so they make quite a bit of horsepower.
Gotcha. That's insane.
We have CNC machines going all day, building all of the components for our units. We don't outsource any of that. For example, this is a relocator that allows us to take our oil filter, and instead of coming horizontally, we mount it vertically. Makes it easier to do your oil changes, and we can use a little bit bigger filter. Nice. So we build those here out of these blocks.
What? That's crazy.
So that block will go into this machine.
Wow. They're all right here.
And you can see how 3 or 4 of them have, got about halfway done.
That's insane. You see things like this and don't think about how they're made.
Yep.
But wow.
All the little spacer that prevents that alternator from turning, this is that spacer. It's not completely done. Many of these, they have to go through a couple of steps. So it'll do a portion. It has to hold the piece. So then you'll put it in upside down, then it'll do the
Do the other side. Yeah. And that's the piece that you guys changed, right? To be more enforced.
To
not-
enforce
yeah.
that alternator from not turning. The machines is basically dedicated to a different part. So over here, where these are thermostat housing inserts. This allows us to route our coolant multiple directions, but one machine's making those. This is the bracket that supports our entire serpentine belt system.
Wow.
All made out of one piece of billet aluminum.
Wow.
And that's this machine over here. This is a good example of, we use the Honda Civic condenser, but we have to put our own fittings on there. So go from this to this fitting that fits right onto that condenser, makes it fit our package. You'll see up there, those are all different fits. And it's gonna pick the appropriate fit to drill the right hole or grind the right shape or whatever it needs. So as it's going through its process, it's gonna switch bits. There it goes, it's switching and grabbing another one.
Oh my God.
So it's gonna grab whichever one it needs, and now we'll see what it's doing with it. So
Wow.
now it's gonna come down. It uses water to lubricate this. And I believe it's gonna start carving one of these.
How long does it normally take? Do you know?
It depends on the part.
Okay.
Let's talk to Wojtek. He's very knowledgeable.
How are you? Good.
Okay, this is Naya.
Nice to meet you.
We're putting an APU on her new truck today.
Yes.
So I was showing her.
Thank you.
Showing her what we're doing in here. You could probably tell her, she's asking like how much time it takes for each one of these different pieces.
For example, I don't know what Eric was telling you, but the oil relocators that we run over here. So it's a 4-operation job. So it does first operation, second, and third.
Okay.
And it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to do all of that.
Okay. An hour and 15 minutes to do 3 steps?
3 operations.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
So first operation is this part.
Okay.
Second operation is this part.
Got you.
And third operation is this part.
And that's because you need to flip it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we need to flip it. You can see from this angle that all the operations, like it starts off as just like a big block of aluminum.
Wow.
Oh, and then this is what it's doing right now.
Doing this.
Yes. So it has the O-ring fitting, and then for the oil to go through.
Wow.
And the filter. So this goes in here. This is the oil relocator screw.
Okay.
So this goes in here with O-rings, of course.
Yep.
It goes in here and it mounts to your engine block, to the Kubota.
Got
This is basically so it makes oil changes easier.
Nice.
So instead of the oil filter being straight on like this, it's down here so you don't make a spill, you don't spill it all around, so it's easier.
What about the bigger pieces?
So like which bigger pieces are we talking
Like over there? Like the...
The plate tensioner,
Yeah?
that's a 2-operation.
Okay.
It takes 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. So is this one takes the longest? Or no? Maybe?
Yes. This
Okay.
one probably takes the longest.
Okay.
But we are running 3 operations,
Yep.
4 pieces. So that's
True.
12 pieces each time.
Right.
So there's more going on.
Okay.
Over here on this one, this is probably one of our longest run times.
The longest?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's 6 pieces.
6 pieces.
So this is the oil AC condenser fittings.
Okay.
So that's what they end up like this.
So all of the shavings get recycled?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a company, we have them, they come pick it up, they
Okay.
recycle it, and it gets melted down and reused.
Okay. So is that they get melted down kind of like these?
Yes. So
Okay.
they get back to something like this,
Nice.
like it's production.
So no waste?
No waste.
Amen.
Nope. So we have 6 pieces that go in here. They get
Okay.
bolted down. and then this actually rotates
Oh,
360.
okay.
So we can do all the sides we need to.
At the same
At the
time or
same
no?
time.
Oh,
At the same time.
so
there's
you
no
can have
flipping.
these working while these are working
Yes.
while. Oh, okay.
So when this is running, we'll do like we can flip this 90 degrees. It'll do the 90 degree here.
Yep.
And it'll flip it the other 90 degree, and it does everything. That's why
Wow.
this is all one operation.
Okay.
So it flips it like this.
Wow.
It does all that. It flips it like this. It does all that.
That's crazy.
That's why it takes so long. Bring this on for you so you can see how it runs. Just give me a
That
second.
coolant, I didn't have the answer. That's like a mixture of water
It's
and
water, and we use Castrol MD50.
Okay.
So it's a special mixture for cutting.
Got
So
you.
it's like that oily base, so it doesn't, well, one, it doesn't rust any components inside here, and so it cools the material and lubricates the tooling when it's cutting,
While not damaging
while not damaging the machine.
for the longevity.
Yes.
This is crazy.
processing. So just start with our billet aluminum, and then it becomes one of our lower crankcase pulleys.
That's crazy.
From here, it's going to go out to anodizing, and that's like a electrolysis process where these parts are aluminum, but they're hardened to be as hard as steel. So you get the lightweight advantages of aluminum, but then the strength of steel.
Let me set this up real quick, and I'll show you this. This is
Okay.
really cool.
Okay. It's gonna set this one up to show us. Oh, you know what? They are light.
Yep.
They're light.
Very light.
Oh my god.
So this is the anodization. So
Okay.
this is an anodized part, so changes the color, but between the difference between this and this is much harder once it's gone through the
Wow.
anodizing process.
So, do you know how much the whole APU weighs or no?
315 pounds.
That's it? 315 pounds,
Yes.
the whole unit?
Yes.
Wow.
The whole body of the unit is aluminum. That's another advantage because it will never rust. It's powder coated aluminum. Still very strong because there's a steel reinforced frame through the whole thing. Also powder coated, but the body itself, it's going to stand for years without any rust, any corrosion.
And it really doesn't require a whole ton of people here.
No,
To do it.
Machine, you know, it's not that they operate them themselves. They have to be programmed. Wojtek is very good with this, being able to manage and juggle all of these at the same time.
Yep.
And keep quality up. And we'll show you some of what we do for quality control after this meeting.
We make the crank pulleys.
What is this?
Crank pulley.
Okay.
So this
crank
was the
pulley.
one I was showing you
Yeah.
with this.
Oh, got you. Okay.
And basically, so it's two operations.
Okay.
It does the first operation on this side, then this spindle will come in, grab it,
Okay.
and it will transfer it over to this side, and it will do all of this. So it will do the holes, it will do the number, the part number,
Wow.
and it'll have a finished part coming out of the machine.
Wow.
So it does everything here on the first operation, big
Yep.
hole, all these ribs. Then it'll come in, grab it, transfer it over, do all this, and it's done part. With all the chamfers, everything done in the machine. No sharp edges, inside and out.
And how long does this usually take?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? 10 minutes. Goes from that to be this.
will be smaller pulleys. These will be fittings for your condenser. Kind of tell what they're going to be, but they're going to go into that feeder over there. That's going to cut them into small pieces.
The same lubrication process.
Yeah. And then cutting them down into these. And from there, they will become the mounting blocks for our APU.
He's setting something up for us to see and hear.
Now when these are done, they're not actually done. So let us show you the next part where we verify the quality.
Quality control. Thank you.
So right here, we have our Keyence LNX series mini CMM. That's what I call it. It's actually calibrating itself right now, so that's what you see. It's a very high precise measuring tool that we have here. It does microns of an inch for measuring. It uses light technology, laser technology, and probe technology to measure our parts. It's very simple to use. You come in here with like a part, like let's say we're doing a mounting block, right? These are the mounting blocks that go on semi. So let's say we're running these, we want to measure it real quick. We basically come in here, we have the program loaded up, we click run. We pick which one we're doing, either the top or bottom, and this is the bottom one. So we'll load it up. It will give us a ghost image of the part that we're measuring. And table will move for us, so it's easier to place down. Anywhere in that yellow area is fine. We just place it down and press the button, and it does all the measuring for us. For this one, I believe I have it set up to just do laser measuring. So you'll see it go in, it measures the slot, the width, the depth of it. It measures the holes, the diameter of it, the how far away from each other they are. It measures the whole part, width, height, depth, everything. So it does all that. Very precise cameras. It's like a microscope basically. You can see on the screen all the cuts that the end mill did, and it does it really fast. So, and once it finishes, all the measurements will go on the screen. That, if you're a visual person, will change color to green just like it did now. It's very nice to have. It's very efficient, it's quick, and there's no human error.
Right.
There's no human error. There's no shaky hands or a dirty caliper or something like that.
And this is used for all of the parts?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I can also give you an example of how we run this one, and that will show the probe, how the probe measures. And with the probe, it's very delicate. So I've actually tested this, and I put a chip on here and touched it off with the probe, and it wouldn't break the chip. So it's very, very delicate.
Wow.
So you place it down, same thing, you just press the button and it does its thing. So first it takes a photo. While it's taking the photo, it's also using light technology to do its first measurement. And then the laser is probably going at the same time, you don't see it. And then once it does all that, the probe will come out and it will do touch-off points at certain areas.
Oh, wow. So is this because it saw something?
No, that's
Oh,
not
okay.
just how it's going to be programmed to do this
Oh, okay.
one here. So it's doing a flatness check as well.
Wow. That's crazy.
And again, once it's done measuring, that line will change to solid green, yellow, or red, depending on if the part's good and tolerances. All the measurements are on there. And it also shows you how far off we are from our tolerances. The great thing about this is that it documents everything. Every measurement we take, it documents time, date, if it passed or not, and then it gives us also graphs that it can show how production was being ran on that certain part.
What's on the end of that?
It's a 2mm ruby. It's a very tiny
Wow.
ruby.
I don't
The
think you
only
guys will
thing-
ever be able to see it. I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a 2mm ruby, so it's very tiny.
You spotted that little 2mm ruby? I've never noticed that.
Yeah,
Good
it's
eyes.
They mounted it on already. Oh, damn. We are here in the production line now. This is what it's looking like. So are they're all doing the same thing or no?
So each station, it's separated from different components.
Okay.
On each station, we installing step by step to the ready product. Ready product shows right here. It's the last station before inspection. So all harnesses, all parts are installed and ready to go. Changing the housing for oil filter relocator. So instead, oil filter hanging like this on a spot where it's very difficult to exchange during the services for a driver or technicians. We installing special relocator where filter is hanging down,
This way.
and the process is very easy for oil changes. We're gonna show you in a second. So this adapter is designed for easing of maintenance. Basically, it's put it to the block with independent screw, and filter is gonna hang it down in 32 degrees for the oil change. The oil change is done from the bottom. You're gonna see in a second how he's gonna install the filter. It has to be dated and who is the installer, so we can track the filter if it was exchanged properly and on time. This special mark is gonna show in case the filter is gonna get loose. Those marks not gonna get straight and will be missing. So now you see exactly where the mark is made, and that mark should stay in the same line all the time. If it's missing, means the filter is get loose. Every screw we tighten with special electric torque wrenches. So every screw got specified torque, so it's tight just right. Not too much, not too little. So now you know it's perfect. Not gonna lose or not gonna change the surface location.
So this is the original one of the computer engine.
Imagine change oil with that kind of filter where you got all stuff around and space limited versus, so this is a 30-minute job, very messy, versus 5-minute job, no mess. The filter is hanging down and basically you change oil from the bottom. It's super easy.
These are all waiting on what?
For inspection.
Okay. So this is all done, waiting on visual inspection and then to be put into the inspection station. Okay. Okay, so this is where the system checks everything on the finished APUs after they're visually inspected. This only can fit 2 right now.
Yeah, that's the old station since beginning with us. So now we are working on a new station which is gonna allow us to check up to 12 units at once. We're trying to be more efficient and of course the whole production flow is gonna get different way and will be better for efficiency.
Right, so right now the production's kind of in a U right here, but
New production will go that way, so we'll go
all the way.
Small door, the already units. That's gonna bring a lot of savings and the production process will be more efficient. So in this room, you're going to be able to check everything, and this big door, all new units will leave for packaging and shipping. Easier for production line to not get all these little pieces. So like right here, we got all the walls pre-assembled. It's a left wall with the harness. The other side is with the condenser and the fan. And ready walls are put in on the production line. So basically it's easier for them to get bigger parts, not playing with the small screws and stuff. So now instead of black, you got
Oh, nice.
stainless steel.
I actually like that way better.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Oh my God. It's on, you guys. They're done. This is a cover and then I can step on this.
Yes, you can look, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how heavy you are, but you can hold up to 380 pounds.
308, you can step on it.
Safety 320, but
Okay, yeah.
it's technically is holding it at the edges.
I don't think I weigh that yet.
Not yet. Don't go that route.
Wow. It looks
So now
nice.
it looks fancy.
And there she is.
Sparkly brand new.
Wow.
To start APU, you press on the button, you see all 4 options, right? Climb control, battery charge, maintenance, and diagnostics.
Yep.
To start APU, pressing the climb control, and automatically is going to start.
Okay.
You press it now.
Yep.
You're gonna wait 30 seconds until the whole system's gonna
Start up.
Yeah, so our engine generates heat from coolant. It's a 60 degrees water temperature now.
Okay.
So to start, the blower has to have about 129. So it's gonna be quick because it's warm outside. Okay. That's why every single time you're gonna be in a truck or not be in a truck, keep unit running. I'm gonna explain. Let's say you're going to the gym, you're going on a vacation, wherever, truck is set, always put it on a battery charge mode.
Okay.
Because at that time, the battery charge mode is gonna keep your batteries maintained properly, and water temperature is gonna be still warm. So you're not gonna have problems with it starting in a truck during the winter or getting your batteries drained completely.
the temperature right now? What is that? It's showing like 84, 85.
That's the water temperature.
Oh.
That's the coolant temperature.
Got you. Okay.
So coolant temperature has to be 129 to start the blower, because you don't want to have a blower working with the very cold air. I'm talking about winter time.
Yeah.
During the summer, you're not gonna have this problem because everything's gonna be warm all the time, and once you're gonna start APU, it's gonna take a few minutes because anyways you're gonna need AC instead of heat. Doesn't matter if you're in a cold area or hot area.
Okay.
You set a temperature you like. So system automatically is gonna choose if AC is gonna be on or heat.
Okay.
You don't have extra bank heater because green APU generates heat from coolant. So basically, you set a temperature you like, and you're gonna have it.
Wow.
When you're gonna switch temperature, you see temperature up on top.
Yep.
You're gonna switch temperature that easy.
Oh, just by turning the knob.
So look at this. If I'm gonna go all the way to the left, you hear a fan outside?
Yep.
It means it's AC only. Don't use it. That's in case of emergency. If any of the sensors is gonna fail on the road, you're gonna need AC. So AC only is gonna be only solution. Same thing. If you're gonna go all the way to the right, you're gonna see heat only.
Yep.
So now you're gonna force the blower to start blowing, even if the coolant temperature is not right. That's for emergency. The best way to use and have maximum climate control and quality control, you're gonna set a temperature you like. If you like
73, that's good.
If you like 73, you're gonna have 73, and the fan and the blower automatically will slow down and speed up when you need it. If you have problem, don't try anyone to touch it without tech support. We know what to do, we know how to do it, and we can do it quicker and more efficient.
Okay.
Always call tech support. This is number for tech support. 24/7 for life. Never expires. It's free. And then based on this tech support phone call, we can help the driver on the road. We can help you. At the same time, we can collect the data. If there's a problem and we don't have phone call, we don't know about problem. So that's the best way for us to improve the unit and make it better. You're gonna call tech support, you got a problem, so we're gonna get you to diagnostics. Advanced diagnostics. There's a passcode, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to log in because that's a one-time password tech support has to give you to you.
When you have a problem.
Because getting to advanced, you can mess up with the setup.
Okay.
So you're gonna call. They're gonna ask you a question. You're gonna give them a simple number, and they're gonna give you one-time password to get here. And based on that password, we can check every single thing in APU and tell you, okay, this is fading, this is not good, this sensor is not right. Number 2 best friend is the battery charge. Every single time you're leaving your truck, if you're leaving for 2 hours or 2 days, always get and press it and go.
That way I don't come back to a dead truck.
So now the system is going to watch your batteries and the main black temperature, coolant temperature. So if battery is going to drop under 12.4 volt, APU is going to start itself, charge the batteries, preheat the main black, and turn off. If the water temperature is going to drop under 36 degrees, APU is going to start itself, maintain your heat temperature in the main black coolant, maintain the batteries, and turn off.
It is quiet, much quieter than I'm used to. Like hearing it right now.
The noise is the one thing, but it's way smoother.
Yeah, doesn't shake the whole
because
truck.
of 3 cylinders.
Okay.
So our engine works on a way lower RPMs. So instead of 2,900 RPMs, works on 2,400 RPMs. So it's way smoother.
Yeah, I can tell just by that from what I'm used
and
to.
And the window's open.
Yeah. Wow.